Hello everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot, back with you for another Mystery Monday video. So today we're going to make a fun fold gift card holder using the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. This stamp set and the coordinating punch were actually a bundle in our previous January to June mini, but they have both been carried over to the new annual catalog. So that's great because we can still use it. And I thought this would be a fun set to make like a summer type card with. So I found this idea from Cindy Brumbaugh, an American demonstrator, and this is what we are going to make. So when you open it up, you have a little pocket here that you can insert a little gift card. So I thought that was a really cute idea, and it is kind of a fun fold at the same time with a surprise inside. So let's get started, and I'll show you how we're going to make this card. So we are going to start with a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock. This is cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4, so it's basically just a quarter piece from a large piece of cardstock. So that will form our base. And then we have another piece of Poppy Parade cut at 2 3/4 by 6 3/4. So this one we have to do just a tiny bit of scoring. So I'm just going to bring out my paper trimmer here. And we just have to score 2 score lines, so not very many. So we are going to score at, on the 6 3/4 side, we're going to score at 2 inches and at 6 1/4 inches. So this will be basically what forms our little fold. So we're going to just burnish those on the score line with our bone folder. And then when we attach it onto our base, this is what will form our little fold here. Okay, so we're going to attach this little strip onto our base. So I like to do that with some tear and tape because we don't want this to come off, our little hinge. So you can decide if you want this little flap to go on the back or if you would like to sit it on top. And I'm going to sit it on top because I don't really like the look of this little piece here on the back. You could just attach a piece of DSP or cardstock, but I think we will just attach this right on top. And just put one little piece of tear and tape on here. You could use Tombow glue as well. That's also a very strong adhesive. So we're just going to peel that backing off with our take your pick tool. And then you're just going to line this up on the left side, right on the bottom edge. And just line that piece up and give it a little press or a burnish. Okay, so now we have our flap. Okay, so now we can do a little bit of decorating. So for that, I used the Pattern Party DSP stack, which is a hostess item in the Stampin' Rewards section. I believe I've used it before, where it's a pack of 40 sheets of paper, which you can get for, I believe, $20. It's a $40 value, but as a hostess or part of your hostess rewards, you can get that at a great price. And one side has great colored patterns, and the other side is all black and white. So that's also kind of fun. So we are going to use the colored sides today. So this piece I am going to place here on the inside. So we will just attach our snail and just place that on the inside here. And then on the outside, we will put this straight piece right here. And I just love how colorful this paper is. It's really awesome for a summer card, I think, or for any sort of birthday or happy event card. Okay, and then I have a smaller piece here of the same DSP that we're going to put on this inside little flap here. So I will post all these measurements on the post. And so we're going to attach this here. And then what we are going to do is cut a little notch in here, just so it's a little bit easier to get our gift card in and out. So I'm just using my retired 1-inch circle punch. You could use a larger punch of any circle or a die. I know a lot of, or if not all of our circle punches have been retired, which is kind of too bad because I do love them. But you're just going to insert sort of halfway between left and right and about halfway to 3/4 of the way up, and just give it a punch. Okay, so that will be our little notch. So now we can put this down. So you can either put this down with Tombow or with tear and tape. I will use the tear and tape, but one thing to be aware of is make sure that you attach it right at the very edge. And that's because if you go higher, there's a chance that your gift card may be a little bit tight and tough to get in and out. Oops, I'm just going to trim this edge off. I ripped it a little too far. Okay, and then we'll put a piece just on this other side here, right on the edge. Okay, just like that. Okay, so we can take these edges off as well. Let's turn this around here. In, and then you're just going to fold that over. Just make sure you don't have any extra adhesive sticking out, and just give that a little press down. So now you have your little pocket, and that we'll try that out later. Okay, so now what we need to do is these outside and inside panels here. So for that, I've cut 2 pieces of basic white and 2 pieces of Poppy Parade. And these are just a 1/4 inch smaller than the others. So let me see. I believe they are, the Poppy Parade is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And the basic white is 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. So just a 1/4 inch smaller. So before we attach that, we're going to do some stamping on these 2 white pieces. So I'm going to bring out my foam mat because these are photopolymer. So the first piece, or sorry, the first stamping we're going to do from the stamp set, we're going to use these little bubbles, and we're also going to use these little sprinkles. And we're going to use those with Flirty Flamingo. So let's do our little bubbles. This will be for the outside flap, and just to give it a little bit of a border behind the ice cream cone that we'll put on. So just random. There's no right or wrong how to apply these little dots, okay? And I'm just going to clean this off. Great chamois, wonderful tool. And then we can attach our sprinkles. So I'm just going to set that one aside. So this one, I'm going to just do some sprinkles and make a little row at the top. And again, I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo. Not just a random, whoops, a random layer there at the top, okay? And then I'm going to add some words here. So using Poppy Parade, I'm going to stamp Hope It's Sweet, and then at the bottom I'm going to stamp with sprinkles on top. Okay, so let's do the Poppy Parade, and you can play with all kinds of colors of ink for this. This is really a fun happy card. So I'm just gonna stamp Hope It's Sweet right below the sprinkles. Okay. And then at the bottom, I'm gonna bring out the Granny Apple Green. And we're going to stamp with sprinkles on top. Okay, so we're going to fit that right towards the bottom. And then you still have room to write a little greeting there in the center. Okay. All right, so now we can attach these to our Poppy Parade. And just use our regular Stampin' Seal for that. So we'll just put this on this one, and this will be our inside panel. So we'll put that on here. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside now for a minute. So now what we need to work on is our ice cream cone. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to bring up my pad again and a piece of just scrap basic white, and I'm going to stamp our scoops of ice cream. So you can do them whatever color you want. Lord knows there's lots of different kinds of ice cream out there. I'm just going to do 2 pink ones. So I stamped those again in the Flirty Flamingo ink. So I'll stamp one there and one there. Okay, so you're going to notice there's a little bit of a lighter spot in the center, but that's okay. That's how the stamp was designed. So that's not a problem. And then we're going to use our punch, our ice cream builder punch, and we're just going to stamp these scoops out, and love punches for lining up right around our images. It's just awesome. And I'm just going to cut this little piece off here so I can reach it better. Okay, so we have one there, and then we'll punch out our second one right here. And with these hot temperatures, I'm sure many people have been enjoying lots of ice cream or frozen treats. Oh my gosh, the heat that we've been having, luckily we've had a little bit of a break in our weather and had some rain this weekend, so that was awesome. Okay, so we also have to stamp our cone. So I am going to stamp that image in our cinnamon cider. Also just on your same scrap piece is fine. Now this cone on this ink is a little bit dark, so I'm gonna stamp it off and then I'm gonna stamp it on. So it's a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to stamp our little sort of waffle image here because I want this to look like a waffle cone. So we're just going to stamp that in the center. Okay. So that's our cinnamon cider. And then we are going to punch that out with the same punch. Just line that up around your cone and give it a little punch. And there is our ice cream cone that we can assemble. Okay, so to assemble this, I'm just going to put a bit of adhesive on the back of our scoop, our first scoop, and I'm just going to put that straight on top, like so. And then on this one, I'm going to add some dimensionals to that. So I'm going to actually put 3 on because some will attach to the bottom and the other one we want to pop up a little bit on the card. So I'm just going to put this one on at a bit of an angle, like so. Okay, and then attach a couple of more dimensionals to the rest of the ice cream cone. Okay. So we've got that ready to go. Now before I put that on, I think I'm going to put my panels on here. So let's start with the front one. So you're going to just place it. For me, I like to put it just sort of centered on the card. Now just take note of where you want this to adhere, because you don't want to put adhesive on this top part or it's going to stick to the inside and you're not going to be able to open your flap. So just take sort of a mental note of where you want the adhesive to go. And then you're just going to lay this just sort of centered here on the front. Okay, so just the bottom part, so it still opens. Now this piece we want to actually have hidden behind this one. We don't want it sticking out here or here. We want it to be lined up right behind this one, so it's a bit of a surprise when you open the card. So what you're going to do for that is you're going to put your adhesive on it. And then you're going to bring back your card and make sure you've got it going the right direction. Okay, your greeting's not upside down. So then you're going to just place this right on top of your front piece. So it lines up. And then you're going to take your base and fold it over and press down. Give it a little rub. And then it's adhered to your card. And when you close it, it lines up right underneath it, so you don't see it peeking out anywhere. So that's awesome. Okay, so now we can attach our ice cream cone. So I am going to just put this on top of our polka dots, like so. And then for a greeting, what I did was, there are a couple of really nice ones in here. You melt my heart, happy birthday. I just used treat yourself. So I stamped that in Granny Apple Green and punched it out with the double oval punch. And then the scallop part is from the Poppy Parade. And then I just want to add a little ribbon around the back because I think it's a little bit plain. So the way I did that was I just put my adhesive on the back, and where did here's my ribbon. So I used the sheer Pool Party ribbon. I love this ribbon. It's just got a little bit of a shimmer to it, and it's just so, so pretty. So there's no right or wrong. If you have another way of doing this, you know, do whatever works for you. I just sort of started and placed my adhesive down and then just made like a bow. Like just a loop, not even a bow, just a loop. Okay, it doesn't even have to be very big. And then you're just going to weave it back and then do another loop on the other side. And they can be the same size, they can be a little bit bigger, that's fine. Oh, looks not too bad. And then I just have my other tail coming off, and then I'm just going to trim that off. And you can always just adjust that after. So it's just sort of a little something extra. If you have a different color bow you want to use, by all means, that's fine. There's certainly lots of colors you can pull out of this DSP. So then I'm just going to attach some dimensionals, and that will help to also anchor your ribbon down here. Oops, sticky. Make sure you've got all your edges off. Oh, is this one upside down? No, I think it's good. Okay, so then you can just add your ribbon and your greeting. I'm just going to put mine a little bit to the right, like so. Treat yourself. And then the last thing I want to add is a few of our in-color jewels for this year. These are the 21 to 23 in-color jewels. They're a little bit of a sparkle to them. You could add anything. You could add the opal rounds, you could add the rhinestones or the pearls, or there's many other jewels we have that would also work. So I'm just going to grab 2 of these, or 3, I think 3. I'll just put 3 on. So put 2 there, and then I'll put maybe a bluish one down there. And those will be my sprinkles. So let's just see if our gift card fits in here. And it does. It's a little snug, but that way it still goes in, and that way the card won't fall out. And there you go. There is your ice cream gift card, fun fold card. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's always fun to have fun folds and to open up with a surprise. That's just even more special. So I hope you enjoyed that project. If you would like to purchase any of these products, I do have a host code set up for July. You just visit my website at christineludwig.stampinup.net, and at checkout in the online store, you can pop in the host code for July, T2E4HQAW. And you can also follow me at Christine Stamping Spot on Facebook and Pinterest. And just a reminder, our designer series paper sale is still continuing until the end of the month. 15% off select DSP patterns, and there are some beautiful ones this year. So great time to stock up on that if you have any sort of special projects you want to do. So you're certainly welcome to check those out as well. So I was happy to share that with you today, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. We will see you next time. Bye for now.